Hey, this is Anthony from Rocket Prince, and thanks for watching this video. Today we're discussing my evening chat one-on-one with you, how to get started with your first side hustle or your first entrepreneur business. And if you haven't checked out my last two videos, click the links on them below. So just a recap of what we talked about last week was how I found some struggles in the very beginning of my entrepreneurship business. When I crossed that line the very first time to pursue this, I found myself in a whole new world where I was learning how to get this machine that I bought making money for me. So I was successful in one thing. I made a car window decal, and some coworkers at my work, they learned that I was making this, and everybody wanted their own car window decal. I found myself in a different situation because somebody asked me, they liked what I did, and they said, "Hey, can you do mugs?" And of course, I said, yes, I can do mugs. But I never made a sale with that customer. They were just asking me if I could do mugs, and I said, yeah. So when that happened, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? How can I do mugs? So I started searching on YouTube how to make mugs, and I found the sublimation printer, and I found out what you can do with the sublimation printer and all the extras that you can do with sublimation. So I went and purchased the sublimation printer, and that was another $700. Now, here's the fun thing about this whole thing is that during the time I was going to make the purchase for the sublimation printer, I had my first big order. It was 60 t-shirts for a school. It was the very first big order, and I think I made like $1,700. Okay, $1,700 on a big order, and man, I had my whole family helping me. We were up till like midnight just with one heat press. Everybody was doing something. Somebody was weeding, pilling the design. Somebody was folding the shirts, and I was heat pressing. It was all like a production line. Everybody in my bedroom, everybody's doing something. Everybody's doing something, and we lasted all the way to midnight. And I had to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. So this was important. I had to get this job done. This was important. I didn't really care, if I was late to work. This was my bread and butter. This is what I was worried about. And I was having fun, and we were all having fun. We were tired, but we were all having fun. And after we got it done, everybody's giving everybody high fives because we finished it. Okay, we finished the job, and we did it right. And I made that money, and I took that money, and I purchased that sublimation printer. Cash. My first transaction paying cash. And that was the best feeling in the world, that I took this side hustle to invest in another machine that was also going to make me money. And that was the greatest gratification I could ever experience. I was able to purchase that sublimation printer in 1 day's worth of work. So that was just another avenue that I stepped into that helped me pursue my goal, and to help me understand that, hey, I am on to something big. This is making me money. And it was fun. It was fun. So I also learned about one thing that happened. So during the course of those t-shirts, in any real business, when you have a production line, you're going to accumulate breakage. Out of the shirts, I ruined maybe about 3 shirts, but I did have some shirts that were faulty. 2 shirts, maybe at the very end, customer said, hey, the vinyl kind of peeled off. But I started thinking about it. For all those 60 shirts, I had 2 shirts did not meet the quality standards. So I learned that during my production line, I need to have a quality control, QC, quality control check. I need to have somebody inspecting and to make sure that my material that I'm pumping out to the customers, that quality shirt is 100% guaranteed. So what I did in return was we told the customer that we were going to give them 2 more shirts. For some reason, the customer said, no, don't worry about it. So we kind of got off the hook. But it still was something that didn't sit right with me, because I messed up. We messed up. We made 60 shirts, and all 60 of those shirts should have been 100% guaranteed. Okay, they should have met that standard. If I'm gonna produce something, I want to make sure that it lasts for a long time. So I learned that about my business. Okay, and and going back when I first started, I wasn't even thinking like this. But all of a sudden, now I'm in this business world, and this is what comes with this now. Now you have to think about standard quality. You have to think about breakage. You have to think about loss of material. You have to think about how fast can you make these t-shirts. So I learned that pressing one shirt took me 7 seconds, and pressing it and folding it and everything else was probably about a minute. Okay, so I learned that time plays in a big factor with this business. Okay, and I learned too, 60 shirts, you might want to invest in another heat press. Okay, so that way you're just simultaneously making stuff, and you're gonna need to pay some people to help you out. But at the time I had family, so they helped me and we got it done. But all these things were taking place, right? So going back to what I was talking about in the very 2 segments of my last videos was, what does this mean for you? Okay, sitting back there listening to this story. What I'm trying to tell you is that when I crossed the line, I said, I stepped into a new world where I didn't want to go back to the old world, because I was learning new things, I was having fun, and I was understanding a lot of different scenarios with this business that I was in. And I was growing. I was getting smarter. I was in a situation where I was developing a skill that I've never had before. Now I was actually learning how to run a business. Okay, I was learning how to run a business, and to this day I still am. So these are the things that I look for on an automatic now. This is 10 years later. This is the stuff that I pay attention to, is quality. I don't want to give somebody something that's crap. Okay, and if I do, and they're not satisfied, I'm going to give them something back. I'll either give them their money back, or I'm going to give them something else, and I'll probably throw something else in there with that if it doesn't go right. Okay, and that's the fun thing about this, is that you're growing and growing and growing, and you're getting smarter, and you're developing your skill, and you're understanding how to run a business. So again, if you're sitting in the back, you're hearing me speak about my story, my journey, and you have that desire to push yourself, but you're scared. My question to you is, why? Why are you scared? What's holding you back? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it your lifestyle? Is it your situation? Whatever you're in, what's holding you back? Why are you thinking like this? See, those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. All right? And one of the things that I learned in my journey was listening to other people who wanted to help you in certain things. So one of the things was that I learned was to ask yourself those questions. And how do you ask yourself those questions? Well, you write them down. You write it down on a paper. You ask yourself, what's holding me back? Why is this holding me back? How come it's holding me back? And answer those questions. And then once you start answering those questions, you're going to start to realize that you're going to come to a root cause. Once you have an understanding of your root cause, then you're going to understand how to tackle that root cause. And you might end up finding out that it's nothing. It's just dumb. And you're going to be like, really? I'm scared because of that? I never thought of it like that. But in order for you to understand that, you have to be like a philosopher. I mean, not a philosopher. You have to think like science. You have to break things down to get to your root cause. So once you understand your root cause, then you understand what's going on with you. Then you can plan for action of attack. Then you know how to counter that. Now you found out what's causing that. You found out what's leading that, what led that to that problem. And now you can find out how to counter it by giving your questions solutions. So, for example, if you're scared because you're too afraid to stand up in front of somebody and negotiate, write that down. I'm scared to talk to people. Right? How are you going to fix that? And the way you're going to fix it is you're going to go on YouTube, start learning how to develop those type of skills that are going to make you confident. Look at those videos. There's a ton of people showing you free content that can help you, give you tricks, tips and tricks, how to overcome that fear. Okay? You can also say, I don't have the money right now. There you go again. Find that free content to show you how can you make money without having money. Those people will teach you that. They will help you get the answers you need so you can build the confidence to get you started. See, if there's a will, there's a way. And that's what you need to do. Okay? But like I've said before in my last two videos, if you're scared and you never do anything about it, guess what? It ain't never going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. You're not going to get anywhere. But the minute you take action, that's when things are going to change for yourself in your life. That's when you're going to start to believe in yourself. That's when you're going to start to push all those negativity people around you and the negativity thoughts in your brain. You push all that to the side. That's when you're going to grow. That's when you're going to become confident. That's when you're going to be able to say, you know what? I'm crossing that line today. I'm going to give it a shot. And if I fall on my face, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep trying. And if I'm tired, I'm going to figure out a way how to get more sleep so I'm not tired at this time so I can work on something. And if I have bad habits, I'm going to fix those bad habits so I could pursue this. If I have a bad habit of spending money, teach yourself how not to spend that money. Teach yourself how to invest that money in something that's going to benefit you. All of those things are going to make you stronger and make you believe in yourself. That's what you need to get yourself growing with your dream and make your dream come true. Okay? So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that this resonates with you. And thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you guys back on my next video, evening side hustle one-on-one chat, and we'll see you guys back. Peace.